Attorney General Wagner Carr has asked that Jack Ruby be given a polygraph test to determine once and for all what prompted him to shoot Lee Harvey Oswald. This device here at my right is a polygraph, erroneously called a lie detector. One of the foremost authorities on this device is Mr. Andrew L. Smith of Dallas. Mr. Smith heads Truth Verification, an organization which has conducted more than 200,000 such tests to determine the honesty of job applicants, verify the innocence of employees falsely accused of thefts from business firms. Mr. Smith pioneered in polygraph work as far back as 1930. I asked Mr. Smith if a polygraph test on Mr. Ruby would be valid at this time.
No one can take a polygraph test unless he is mentally alert, physically fit, and capable of responding to the physiological responses of stress. You cannot give a test to a person who has a fever or is under mental duress or strain. He must voluntarily, with his own free will, come in to take this test, and he must be physically able to respond physiologically.
What about the medicines that Mr. Ruby is taking now? Might they have a bearing on the validity or accuracy of a test if given at this time?
Well, truly, I'm not qualified to give a medical opinion, but in the normal treatment of cancer, at least the ones that I have been personally exposed to, I would say that they would affect the physiological responses of the test.
Well, at the request of Jack Ruby, the President's Commission on the Assassination of President Kennedy has today conducted a polygraphic examination. The results, of course, are going to be taken to Washington, and there will be no disclosure of any sort until the Commission has analyzed the examination and come to its own conclusions. And that's all that is stateable for the press and public at this time about this matter.
Why did it take so long?
It took as long as it did because it was a very comprehensive examination, and such an examination to be done in a comprehensive fashion on a matter of this sort required that much time.
How did you feel about this, Mr. Fowler? Were you in favor of this polygraph test?
Gentlemen, I was not in favor of the polygraph test. I so advised the Commission. I advised Mr. Ruby. But as you probably know, Mr. Ruby had made this connection with Chief Justice Earl Warren prior to my entering into the case. And as I understand, Mr. Warren, in keeping with the promise that he made to Jack Ruby to give him a polygraph test, it was carried out by these gentlemen here today.
You feel that this will be hurtful to your appeal?
Well, let me put it this way. Anything that might lend some credence to show that certainly would not help our cause. I do not feel that anything that went on here today would be detrimental to Jack Ruby's cause.
That is from his responses?
Well, now, I will not go into his responses. Again, this I'm not prepared to say.
What was the main reason you were against
The background of this, as you probably know, we have contended in the past, we will contend in the future, that Mr. Ruby is of unsound mind and is incapable at this time of carrying on and conducting his own affairs. And for this reason, we felt and so advised Mr. Ruby that he should not do this. But he absolutely insisted on it. This was his act, and his act alone. I could have no control whatsoever over Mr. Ruby.